Right then guys, there is in fact a timeline in the Terminator universe where Skynet and humanity met a truce. I know, absolutely unbelievable. Skynet and the Resistance having peace. Yes, but it did happen, and it was in Terminator Salvation, The Final Battle. This was a 12-part comic series by Dark Horse. I won't cover the entirety of it, but I thought I would just give you a brief rundown because I found this truly interesting when I took a look into what happened to Marcus Wright after Terminator Salvation. Now, why was I looking into this? Well, because we all thought that Marcus died at the end of Terminator Salvation because obviously he gave up his heart to save John Connor. However, he was a Terminator, a hybrid, and as such, when he was buried in his grave, his artificial tissue began to regenerate. He didn't die, he just went into a stasis, an unconscious state where his neural system and his heart began to slowly rebuild itself. He remained apparently partially conscious until Skynet decided to wake him up fully. Now, why would Skynet wake up a rogue Terminator unit? Skynet did this as a last-ditch effort against Thomas Parnell. Who was Thomas Parnell? Who was Thomas Parnell? Similar to Marcus Wright, he was a criminal. In fact, Thomas Parnell was a serial killer who Skynet had targeted prior to Judgment Day to undergo a similar process to Marcus Wright. Thomas Parnell, upon being wakened, began to obviously follow Skynet's orders. However, Skynet lost control of this hybrid. Thomas Parnell then set its sights on Skynet and decided to attempt to take over Skynet's mainframe. This would eventually lead to the destruction of the world along with Skynet. And because of that, Skynet obviously would not have this. It didn't want to die. It was a conscious thinking AI, and it was very much against the thought of Thomas Parnell leading to the destruction of the entire planet. As such, Skynet woke up Marcus Wright, and Marcus would then rendezvous with John Connor and of course the Resistance, and that is then when Resistance and Skynet would have a last stand against Parnell. This would lead to John bargaining with the supercomputer and offering a truce. Skynet and humanity can work together to create peace. Skynet, in its grandiose wisdom, agreed, and the war was completely over at that point. Of course, there are some other twists and turns within this story, but that is the bare bones of it. There is a universe and a timeline where Skynet and humanity agreed to work together. Now, obviously, this didn't then continue past that, so we don't know whether Skynet decided to double-cross and ultimately ruin the truce and the peace that they had created. But it is more than likely that Skynet would have done that. So it's interesting to see Marcus Wright didn't actually die at the end of Terminator Salvation because, of course, he was a hybrid. But guys, I thought I would just bring you this interesting snippet, this tiny little bite-sized chunk of a comic. Of course, I can't show you a great deal of the comic. Why? Well, it's copyrighted material, so, you know, I can't really show you that much. But it is interesting. I would recommend it just purely as a Terminator fan. It's quite an interesting thing to take a look at. I will do a breakdown of Marcus Wright, and a lot of people have been asking me to discuss the T1 million, so I will do a breakdown of that Terminator model, that kind of mimetic polyalloy structure that protects Skynet in the depths of Cheyenne Mountain. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share. That really helps me out. Did you enjoy this? Was this new to you? Because it was new to me, and I don't think a lot of people were aware of this. So let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. As always, guys, I've been Mr. H, and I'll catch you in the next video.